Fuck J. Trudeau. Fuck J. Trudeau. Fuck J. Trudeau. We're gonna be okay, Dick. We're gonna make it, man. We're gonna do it. We're gonna be okay. How are you, man? You didn't see anything. You didn't see nothing. Hanging in there by a thread, yeah. Dude, I got no strength, man. I ain't got no strength, man. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking like, I'm shook, man. I gotta reset this now. I got pinned last time too after trying to do 2 of these. I think I just gotta do 1. Let's wait. I have like, my soul is so like, I think I'm just gonna have to do bicep curls and like leg raises today. Maybe do some 1 rep bench presses probably. That's probably what I'll do. Yeah, man, commiserate with me, my man. Commiserate, homie. Brazil just implemented their vaccine passport, and I was in arguments with my friends in Brazil about it. I wonder how they feel now, because I mean, it was obvious it was going there. You know, it was obvious that was going to be the fucking. That was what's going to happen. Whining and dining. Pump the economy up, buddy. Dude, I've tipped fucking 20% every fucking restaurant I went to since the lockdown. 20 fucking percent on a bill of like $80 to $100 fucking dollars. 20%. That's like $20 fucking dollars. Fuck you. You're gonna segregate me, you fuckers? Fuck you. Last time for a while, yeah. My shirt, when I go out, my shirt's gonna be, I tip 20%. Fuck you. Not you. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. Fuck. Getting pinned is just such pain because it takes so fucking long to set everything up again. Like, fuck. Dude, I still can't find video footage of the rally in California. This is the only one from. Where's Strathmore? Is that Saskatchewan? Oh fuck! Fuck!
just distrust in you. They'll do what they do best, and that will be unthinkable. So you're a tough guy, never loot enough guy, bag always so stuffed guy, vest is looking scuffed guy. I'm that stab type, for your scab on scab fights, comrades getting mad, hyped, extracting with your dad type. I'm the scav guy. I'm the scav guy. I like to scav in factory, not trying to divide the cheeks. Wiggle before approaching me, don't be an animal. Fence likes when scabs cooperate, but the karma system's not great. If you try to help, you might find you just punish yourself. So you're a tough guy, weapons looking rough guy, got issues with trust guy, think I'll call your bluff guy. I'm that slav type, killing rats and chats type, key card in my bag like I think I'm going labs hype. I'm a scav guy.
Опачки!
I'm a scav guy. I like when Vince gets mad. It's not like Tequila's my dad. I'm all alone. You think he'll aggro me? I mean, karma's -3, so might as well put a bullet in his dome. I'm the scav guy. I'm the scav guy.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I have the honor to welcome to the United Nations His Excellency
General Assembly, Mr. Abdullah Shahid, Mr. Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, heads of state, heads of government, and other heads of delegation. Ladies and gentlemen,
a month ago, it would be unconstitutional to have a vaccine passport. Well, on Tuesday, the vaccine passport comes in. Don't trust a bloody one of them. Not a one of them. They're so invested in this narrative of fear, they don't know how to get out of it. There's only one party, only one leader, who's got the courage and the backbone and the integrity to end this narrative of fear. Let's vote for him on Monday. Thank you very much. Let's bring up Maxime Bernier.
Next Monday, that will be the beginning of a common sense revolution in our country, a freedom revolution in our country. And we will do that together. The first rally in Montreal, if we had 100 persons, that was the maximum. But you know what? At that time, maybe common sense was not that common. But I can tell you that the last rally in Montreal that I did, we were 55,000 people fighting for our rights. You know, like me, that government is not the solution. The government is the problem, and our politicians are the problems. Because O'Toole won't speak in Eastern Canada about Western alienation. For him, you know, you're happy, you will vote for the Conservative Party. Everything is nice here in Western Canada. No, it is not. And I know why you're mad about Ottawa. I know it's good here in Alberta, but I'm proud to speak about it also in Quebec in French. Because every province must have more autonomy if we want to keep this country united. And I'm very pleased to be here and finish my campaign here with you in Alberta. Don't forget, we still have 3 days We still have 3 days, and there's still some Canadians that don't know there's another option here, our option. Because I believe that they know that all the other options suck, but we are the only option for this country and for you and for Canadians. And I will end that little speech with the same quote that I like from John F. Kennedy. The quote that he said in 1961, 1 year after the one that I started my speech from John Diefenbaker, 1960, Kennedy in 1961 at his inauguration speech after being elected. And what he said at that time, I like that quote because that quote is very actual for today. And we are living now here in Canada in the same situation that they had at that time in the US. And Kennedy said, in the long history of the world, only few generations have been taking the role of defending freedom in its maximum hour of danger. You are that generation. This is your role, and now is the time. Now is the time. Let's live strong and free. I count on you, you can count on us. Thank you, thank you.
All right, so I am here with Paul Hinman, the leader of the Wild Rose Independence Party, and we just finished watching Maxime Bernier's PPC event out here in Strathmore. And I was just wondering, Paul, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's exciting to see so many Albertans coming out and supporting the truth, supporting the principles that we believe in, voting and supporting freedom, because that's really what this election is about. Do we want freedom in a future, or are we going to have big government that's stripping away our freedoms, our constitutional rights? And Albertans, we want our freedom here.
And speaking of freedom, Jason Kenney just plunged us back down into lockdowns. The Open for Summer plan is obviously canceled for fall, and we are now introducing vaccine passports. What do you think of the vaccine passports?
It's just wrong. It's unconstitutional, and the damage that it is doing, the collateral damage of passports is just unforeseen. And the number of people that are contacting me that do not want to get vaccinated, that are being threatened, you either get vaccinated or lose your job. It's wrong, and the government should never be allowing this segregation to be taking place. The mental stress, the financial stress, the family stress. You even got families now that are divided. I met one nurse last week when I was at the rally there that doesn't want to get vaccinated, and her husband's just furious with her. Just get the stupid vaccine and go to work. Why are you refusing this? We need you to go to work. This is wrong. This is not what a free and prosperous country goes by, and yet we have federal and provincial politicians that for whatever reason are coercing people to get vaccinated, and it's just wrong.
And the legacy media today ran a couple of interesting stories where they said that a vote for Maxime Bernier, a vote for the PPC, is a vote for Justin Trudeau. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's false. And again, we've got to have people that stop voting out of fear and actually start voting for what they believe in and what they want. And we want our freedoms. We want a future. We want to reduce the size of government. We don't want a cradle-to-grave government that's always looking at everything we're doing, telling us what we can do and what we can't do, telling us who we can visit and who we can't. I mean, it's just unbelievable how divisive these policies are. And we need to vote for Maxime Bernier and the PPC and send that message to Ottawa here.
So in a lot of places, people are looking at it and they're looking at the possibility of vote splitting. What do you have to say for people that are concerned about the vote splitting or the possibility that Aaron O'Toole could lose out on a minority because the PPC wins a bunch of seats?
I categorically disagree with that. Don't waste your vote on something, or too often they voted for the least of two evils. And if we want to change and save Canada, you got to start voting for what's right. You got to vote for the principles and for the truth. And this idea to vote out of fear or out of strategy, we never win. We lose. Maybe it's death by 1,000 cuts instead of 50. But no, you got to vote for what we believe and what we need, and we need our freedom, and we need to have a reduction in the size of government. We need to be decentralized. All those things are critical, and if we don't vote for that, we lose. Whether it's 1 year or 5 years, we lose. So don't vote out of fear. Vote for courage and vote for the truth. Vote for freedom.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking some time to chat with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for the Western Standard and being willing to report on these things. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thanks. Hey, I am here with Maxime Bernier. In the dark, you stayed right till the bitter end to say hi to absolutely everyone that was here at your rally today. You wanted to end your campaign in Alberta. Why Alberta?
Because we share the same values and we have a lot of support here, and I'm very proud to be called the Albertan from Quebec. When I started my political career in 2007, a journalist, like I said in my speech, I think that was from the Global Mail, said this guy is speaking like Albertan about freedom and individual freedom and personal responsibility. So, and he called me the Albertan from Quebec, and I used that since that time, because yes, here in Alberta we share the same values and we must promote that all across the country, and that's what I'm doing. So, and I believe that we have a chance to have some candidates that will be elected here. So I'm doing my best campaigning across the country, and we'll see what will happen this Monday.
Now, speaking of the media, the front page of the Toronto Sun today, there was an article and it said a vote for Maxime Bernier and the PPC is a vote for Justin Trudeau. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I believe that they're very scared. The Conservative Party of Canada, if they have to use all their tools and people that they know to write something like that, is because they know that we have a great momentum. And people understand now that the Conservative Party is not conservative anymore, just in name. So voting for the PPC is voting for your values. It's not my fault if the Conservative Party of Canada is taking your vote here in Alberta for granted, and they're like Justin Trudeau on all the most important issues, starting by COVID-19 hysteria and imposing a vaccine passport. They're like Trudeau. And here in Alberta, I believe that people don't want a vaccine passport. And actually, O'Toole is working with Kenney. Kenney, as you remember, Kenney supported O'Toole a week ago. And they're together with that vaccine passport. So if you're fed up with vaccine passport and with the fake conservative like Kenney and like O'Toole, you just have one option, us. And I don't believe that if you vote for the PPC in Alberta, that you will elect a liberal MP here in Alberta. You won't. When conservatives are winning by 70% of the vote in Alberta, voting for PPC, the only chance that you have is to elect a PPC member of parliament or a fake conservative member of parliament. So that argument is only to try to convince former conservative to stay conservative. But these people are intelligent, are wise, and they know that they are not leaving the Conservative Party of Canada to come to us. The Conservative Party of Canada let them, abandon them. And that's why now they have a new home with the People's Party of Canada.
So is that your message then to people who are worried about vote splitting, specifically in smaller rural ridings that the Conservatives normally see 75, 80%? Is that your message to them, is that they can vote for you and Justin Trudeau won't win?
They can vote for us, and they can be safe that they won't elect a Liberal in their riding. But if there's a minority Liberal government or a minority Conservative government, that will be the same thing. O'Toole won't solve the equalization formula. O'Toole won't build pipelines and use the Constitution to impose, I'm using my word, to impose pipeline everywhere, because it's under the federal jurisdiction when you use the Constitution and the section 9210 in the Constitution. Aaron O'Toole won't abolish a carbon tax. He will impose a carbon tax. We won't sign the Paris Accord. So if you're a real conservative, with your values, we are your only choice, because the Conservative Party of Canada is a leftist party now.
And then earlier today, the Western Standard actually broke a story where a student in school in Ontario recorded their teacher saying that they couldn't discuss or teach the PPC in the classroom because the PPC has openly racist policies. What do you say to that?
You know, I'm saying I believe that students are more intelligent than the teacher because they can read. And I'm sure that that student read our platform, and they know that we are fighting for this country, and we are doing politics for Canadians, for all Canadians, and we don't play any racial politics. Who's playing racial politics? That's the Conservative and the Liberals. Trudeau, a couple of months ago, created a new program only for black entrepreneurs. That's a racial politics. That's a program that is racist. We won't do that. We will abolish program like that. And if we want to have a program for entrepreneurs, we'll have a program for all entrepreneurs in Canada. So for us, it's not important the color of your skin or your ethnicity or your religion or your sex. We are doing politics for every Canadian, and for us, you are a Canadian. I don't want to know what you are doing in your bedroom or what is the color of your skin. That's not important for us. You're in this country, you share Canadian values, you're welcome. Let's work with us to build this country.
So the election's winding down to a close now. We only have a few days left. What are your plans for the next 2 days?
I'll be here, I'll be in Edmonton, and we will do our rally at the end of the campaign in Saskatoon Monday. So I will be the last 2 days of the campaign in Alberta, and try to gain more and more support. And I believe that Albertans understand that, you know, when you have a party that the only argument, when you have the Conservative Party of Canada, the only argument for Albertans to vote for them, it's splitting the vote. O'Toole is the one that is splitting the vote. He's splitting the Liberal votes. We are not doing anything, and he's not Conservative anymore. So that's why I believe they're scared. They know that we have a lot of people that are coming to our rallies, not only here in Alberta, in Calgary, but I did rallies in Ontario. You know, you're not alone, Albertans. You won't be the only one that will vote for the PPC. People in Ontario, people in Quebec, BC. I did rallies all across the country. We had the biggest rallies. Look at the other candidates, leaders. They were not able to do rallies like that. We are having people that are coming to our rallies because they know that we are there for the facts, for the truth, for the science, for Canadians, and we are speaking the common sense. So I believe that this election will be an historical one, and like I said in my speech, it will be the start of a common sense revolution.
All right. Well, thank you very much for taking some time to talk to us. I know that you've got to get going, get back on the road to the next event. If anybody's looking for more information on you guys on the PPC, where can they find the information?
I think they can call and speak to their candidates to their candidate in.
know your medical information. That was never a thing before. I'm paid to be here. You're paid.
Can you get one in the crowd? They'll just think I'm on.
People want.
This is important, and then I'm going to pass off the mic. Okay. So this is what I want to do quick, is just read this last scripture, and then I just want everyone to come together before I pass off the mic to our very honored guest, Maxine, here. So finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. I want everyone please to close your eyes, and I want everyone to hold your neighbor's hand if you are willing, or put your hand over your heart. And I want you to close your eyes, because I think this is so important in this battle that we need to come back to these images and we need to feel uplifted. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and feel that power, feel that truth, feel it going through your lungs and every cell of your body. Exhale. Any heaviness, any anger, let it out. Breathe in joy, breathe in love, and feel it throughout your whole body, from your head to your toes to your fingertips. Let out anything that is keeping you down and heavy. Breathe it out loud and audible. Now, visualize the future you want to live in. What does it look like? Who are you with? What are you doing? And how does that feel? Come back to that image, breathe it in and hold it in your heart, hold it in your mind. Exhale. Breathe in one more time, and now picture, we already know we're victorious. We already know that we've won. We already know that we're in that place of freedom that you have pictured in your mind. Breathe it in and hold it and know it to be true. And exhale anything weighing you down. And come back to this image often, because know that we are here. This event that is happening across Canada is here for a reason. It is meant to shake us up. It is meant to get us off our seats. It is meant to bring us back into our heart and give us all the opportunities that we have to create the future that we want, to get off this track of where we were, of going towards evil. We get to create new systems with our government, with the PPC, with our healthcare, with our education. The time is now, and Canada is ready for change, and we are all going to do that together.
Thank you.
Thank you, yes. Everybody, you are here because you know, like me, that we cannot take for granted our freedoms anymore, and you're ready to do that fight. That ideological fight, that common sense revolution, because we know that what the government is doing right now to us with vaccine passport, mask mandate, it is unconstitutional, illegal, unfair, immoral, and we are saying no to that and yes to freedom. And the mainstream media try to describe us as anti-mask, anti-vaccine. You are here today, you are not during our campaign, you're just here today because you know that it's a time to speak about what the people want, and the people here, they're ready to fight for their life, they're ready to fight for our democracy, and we want to have the freedom of choice. Freedom of choice. That's our fight. We're not anti-vaccine, we're not anti-mask. Everybody must be able to decide what to do, if they want to have the vaccine or not. You know, the feminists were saying a couple of years ago, my body, my choice. I'm saying the same thing today, our body, our choice. And Trudeau and all these traditional politicians are dividing us, They did that by race, by gender, and now by vaccination status. We are saying no to that. We want to unite all Canadians under the freedom umbrella. Because there's no reason to do segregation and discrimination. Because every Canadian is in the same boat. Everybody can spread the virus. Yes, we know that vaccinated people that decided to have the vaccine, if they have COVID-19, they will have mild symptoms. But like myself and a lot of Canadians that decided not to have the vaccine, they can spread the virus. So there's no reason to do that segregation. I want to be able to go to a restaurant. I want to be able to go to a baseball game. And I'm saying to people who decided to have the vaccine, your life is not in danger if people unvaccinated are with you because you took the vaccine. You protect yourself. So let's reopen the economy, saying no to lockdowns. Saying no to vaccine passport and yes to freedom. And actually we know that vaccine passport has an expiration date. It will be in 8 months when they will ask you to take the third shot, the fourth one, or the fifth one. So people must understand, enough is enough. We want to go back to a life before COVID-19. And you know, like me, that this election will be a referendum. I agree with Justin Trudeau when he said, and maybe that's the first time and the last time, when he said, when he launched that election, I want you Canadians to judge me on the way that I managed the COVID-19 crisis. Yes, Mr. Trudeau, we will judge you on that. And Mr. Trudeau, when you said to civil servants in Ottawa, when you said to them, if they don't take the 2 shots, if they don't have their vaccine passport, there will be consequences. That's what you said to them. I know what you said to them. You said to them, if you don't take your 2 shots, I will punish you. But Mr. Trudeau, we will punish you the 28th of September. Because we don't want to live, we don't want to live in a socialist country. In a country when you have to show your papers to participate in civil society, we don't want that. And Mr. O'Toole, we know that you are like Trudeau, you're ready to impose vaccine passport all across the country, and we cannot trust these conservative government here in Ontario and also in Alberta. These conservative governments are not fighting for us. They all want to impose a vaccine passport. Here, Ford and Kenny in Alberta and O'Toole in Canada, they are all in the same boat. They want to have more government control, and we want to have more freedom. Yes, and we know that in 4 days, that will be important. That election is important, and I'm asking you, don't hesitate to speak to your friends, your family, your co-workers, because there's a lot of Canadians that don't know that we are here, don't know that we exist. We cannot count on the mainstream media. They cancel us, but I'm telling you, this party is growing because of you, because of people like you that are ready to fight for this country. They're ready to fight because we know when tyranny becomes a law, revolution becomes our duty. It is our duty to start that common sense revolution, that freedom revolution all across our country. And that will start the 28th of September. I can tell you, we will be elected. Some of our candidates will be elected. And you will have that freedom voice in Ottawa. And we will be with you in Ottawa to fight for our country, to put Canadian first and our country first. And also I'll be with you in the street to do more protests if they don't understand that we want to get back our freedom. They told us 2 weeks to flatten the curve. I'm telling them 4 days to flatten the lies. We know that we must learn to live with that virus. We know what to do to fight that virus, but it's not with lockdowns and with vaccine passport. For the first time in our history, we are fighting a virus with lockdowns, stay-at-home orders, curfew, vaccine passport. That was a failed experiment. It won't happen again. You can count on us. That's the end. And we know that we will win because we have the science on our side. Just like in Israel today, vaccinated people, we know that they can spread the virus. So where is the logic right now? In Quebec, me personally, I cannot go to a restaurant, but I can go to my church. Do you think that there are more viruses in restaurants than in a church? There's no logic there. I will tell you why I can go to my church. Because the Catholic Church was very efficient at doing their lobby at the provincial level. That's why. That's not based on science. That's not based on common sense. Let's stop that discrimination and segregation now. So, Canadian need our voice, and we need your support. I hope that the next 4 days, be active on social media, call your friends, tell them that there's an alternative. Yes, they must know at this time that all the traditional political parties are all on the same side on the most important issues for our election. It's important to fight for what we believe. And I'm asking you, don't vote against something. Don't vote against a government. Vote for what you believe. Vote for what you believe. Vote for yourself. If you want to live in a free and a prosperous country, you have the only choice. The only choice is the People's Party of Canada, because we are putting you first and our country first. So our time is critical right now. I was saying that 2 years ago in the 2019 election. I was saying that we need to fight for our freedom. We need to have a smaller government that will respect people, respect taxpayers. And at that time, when I was speaking about freedom, people were looking at me, what do you mean, Maxime? We are living in a free country. But now people understand that we don't want to go in that direction with more socialism and more government control. So this election will be an historical election. And this political party, this movement is growing because of you. And that historical election will be a big surprise for the mainstream media, but it won't be a surprise for us, because we know that there's a silent majority out there that they're looking at us, and they must not have the courage of their conviction. They must not have the courage to come here and to fight with us, but they are looking at us. And I can tell you that more and more people will give them the courage to vote for what they believe for once. And I believe that they will do that because they want to gain back their country and save their country. Yes, this is Canada. And I'm not alone, and we're not alone in that fight. And I want to give the floor to a real Canadian, a freedom fighters here from Ontario, but also Randy is very well known all across the country because he started that End the Lockdowns movement all across the province and all across the country. And he decided a couple of months ago to call me in Montreal, and he said, Maxime, you are with us with that fight? I said, yes, for sure. Come with us. Be part of the End the Lockdowns caucus. And I was proud, and I'm proud to be part of that caucus with Randy and other elected representatives at the municipal levels. We started that caucus together, and now it's a big movement all across the country that is saying no to the lockdowns, but no to the vaccine passport, and yes to our freedoms. Thank you, Randy.
Get rid of the horse here. I'm going to do my best. We've been busy on the campaign trail. And listen, you see all these wonderful people out here. You see the crowds are building for freedom. Canadians are standing up for freedom. And we take a look around and we see the mainstream media ignore.
I just want to say something quickly. Joe Biden has taken to himself to try to single out Florida over COVID. This is a guy who ran for president saying he was going to, quote, shut down the virus. And what has he done? He's imported more virus from around the world by having a wide open southern border. You have hundreds of thousands of people pouring across every month. And it's not just from Mexico. In fact, it's rarely from Mexico. You have over 100 different countries where people are pouring through. Not only are they letting them through, they're then farming them out all across our communities across this country, putting them on planes, putting them on buses. You think they're being worried about COVID for that? Of course not. So he's facilitating. Who knows what new variants are out there? But I can tell you, whatever variants are around the world, they're coming across that southern border. And so he's not shutting down the virus. He's helping to facilitate it in our country. And what is his big solution? What is he so upset about Florida? His solution is he wants to have the government force kindergartners to wear masks in school. He doesn't believe the parents should have a say in that. He thinks that should be a decision for the government. Well, I can tell you in Florida, the parents are going to be the ones in charge of that decision. And one of the major medical people in his administration just recently told parents that they should be wearing masks at home when they're around their own children. This is insane. Joe Biden also believes that vaccination should be mandated by force of government, and that you should have to show vaccination status to be able to participate in society. Now, Florida, we're very proud of our Seniors First strategy. You look at the mortality in nursing homes among seniors, it's declined dramatically. But we said from the beginning, we're going to make it available for all, but we're not going to mandate it on anybody. That's ultimately an individual's choice to be able to do it. Biden, he rejects science because he denies the fact that people that recover from COVID have long-lasting immunity. And that's been proven time and time again, and the data is very clear. So his vision is, just like in New York City, restaurants should ban young kids from being able to go in because they're not eligible for vaccination, and law-abiding citizens have to produce proof of their medical records just to go to the gym or attend an event or just to participate in everyday society. He wants that, but yet if you want to vote, he thinks it's too much of a burden to show a picture ID when you're voting. So no voter ID, but have to show your medical papers just to be able to live in everyday life? Give me a break. And so I think the question is we can either have a free society or we can have a biomedical security state. And I can tell you, Florida, we're a free state. People are going to be free to choose to make their own decisions about themselves, about their families, about their kids' education, and about putting food on the table. And Joe Biden suggests that if you don't do lockdown policies, then you should, quote, get out of the way. But let me tell you this. If you're coming after the rights of parents in Florida, I'm standing in your way. I'm not going to let you get away with it. If you're trying to deny kids a proper in-person education, I'm going to stand in your way, and I'm going to stand up for the kids in Florida. If you're trying to restrict people, impose mandates, if you're trying to ruin their jobs and their livelihoods and their small business, if you are trying to lock people down, I am standing in your way, and I'm standing for the people of Florida. So why don't you do your job? Why don't you get this border secure? And until you do that, I don't want to hear a blip about COVID from you. Thank you. I just want to say something quickly. Joe Biden has taken to himself to try to single out Florida. said, no, that's not what I said. And not that I ever expect to be quoted properly. What I said was, if you're going to force vaccine mandates on people, just understand that what the data is showing us about the vaccine. The data is showing us you're much less likely to be hospitalized or die if you're vaccinated. That is true, and I think you see it in the statistics. However, the vaccinations have not created herd immunity. And so if the idea is that having herd immunity, you force everyone to do this, and that will create herd immunity, that has not happened. It's still spreading. People who, I mean, obviously in Florida we're going down now, which is great, but that's not what the issue is it creating the herd immunity? Fauci also said if 50% were vaccinated, you would not see any surges anymore. Well, that isn't true. Look at, I mean, obviously the Sun Belt. Look at the Pacific Northwest. Look at Hawaii. Huge surges that you've seen. And so, but just understand what you're doing. If you're forcing somebody to show proof of this, to eat at a restaurant or to do basic tasks, go to the grocery store. There's some places around, if you look at some of these places that have really gone off the deep end, to say to go to the grocery store you should have to do that. So we're not doing that in Florida. But the theory behind it is that if you make it so, make everyone have to do this under penalty of law, that somehow you wouldn't have spread. And I think we just have to be honest about what it's doing and what it's not doing. We had hoped that if you had 50%, then you wouldn't have that. We had hoped you could build herd immunity that way, but that just hasn't happened. It's not happening in Israel. It didn't happen in the UK. It's not happening in the United States. It doesn't mean that there's not positive impacts, but the positive impacts is mostly reducing the vaccinated individual's chance of being severely ill. Also, I would say, if you look at what we've done, we're leading the nation in pushing early treatment for people with COVID. And that's people that are not vaccinated, but it's also people that are vaccinated who are high risk, who we still see some of them ending up in the hospital. So we were able to do that. This has been available since December. We found that most of the people that were being admitted to hospitals, yes, most were not vaccinated, but almost none of them got the monoclonal treatment, the antibody treatment early on in their illness. And if they had done that, a lot of those people would not have done. So we've done stuff. We've done the one here in Polk County. It's seen 2,800 patients. It's administered treatments. And what you're finding is we're seeing the hospital census decline rapidly. We're seeing the emergency room visits for COVID-like illness decline. We're seeing daily hospital admissions decline. So those are very, very good trends, but that's about understanding where there was a need for action. And then we did this, and I mean, we were able to put together a lot of sites very quickly. We're going to open up a couple more. So we're going to have, by the end of this week, we'll be up to 25 sites throughout the state of Florida, all of them being able to do up to 320 infusions a day. Now, most of our sites don't have that much demand, but I would say the one here in Polk is probably doing between 150 and 200 every day. Some of the other ones, like Bonita Springs, they do 300 a day pretty consistently, and then others do around 100. But the point is that by doing that, getting it early, we're keeping thousands of people out of the hospitals, and that's obviously better for their health. It's saving lives for sure, because not everyone that gets admitted to the hospital recovers, and it's also helping relieving a burden on the healthcare system, because we had higher levels of COVID patients. Now that's going down, so we're going to keep this going in that direction. But one of the reasons why we thought that this was something that needed to happen was because, yes, people just didn't seem to know about it, even though it had been available since December. So we've raised the spotlight now. Other states are following Florida. But it was based on the fact that you were still seeing people who were fully vaccinated test positive. Again, we didn't see the herd immunity that we had hoped for. And so in that situation, and we've already had great testimonials about this, very elderly people who've been fully vaccinated for months get COVID, are symptomatic, and then they get the infusion, and either they stay out of the hospital, some of them do get admitted, but I can tell you, we've had a number of these folks who get discharged, and the doctors are saying, had you not gotten the monoclonal, you probably wouldn't be getting discharged right now. So it's been a big success, and it's something that we're going to continue to do, but it is something that we recognize that this stuff, people were testing positive, both vaccinated and unvaccinated. And so in terms of hoping to just get herd immunity and all of a sudden, that has not happened anywhere yet in our country or in some of our other countries, particularly those that have been highly vaxxed. So you just got to look at the data and you got to make judgments on the basis of that. But I think we feel the real need with what we did with the monoclonals.
Governor,
Oh my god, man, that's funny.
That's not what I said. No, that's not what I said. And not that I ever expect to be quoted properly. What I said was, if you're going to force vaccine mandates on people, just understand that what the data is showing us about the vaccine. The data is showing us you're much less likely to be hospitalized or die if you're vaccinated. That is true, and I think you see it in the statistics. However, the vaccinations have not created herd immunity. And so if the idea is that having herd immunity, you force everyone to do this, and that will create herd immunity, that has not happened. It's still spreading. People who, I mean, obviously in Florida, we're going down now, which is great, but that's not what the issue is it creating the herd immunity? Fauci also said if 50% were vaccinated, you would not see any surges anymore. Well, that isn't true. Look at, I mean, obviously the Sun Belt. Look at the Pacific Northwest. Look at Hawaii. Huge surges that you've seen. And so, but just understand what you're doing. If you're forcing somebody to show proof of this, to eat at a restaurant or to do basic tasks, go to the grocery store. There's some places around, if you look at some of these places that have really gone off the deep end, to say to go to the grocery store you should have to do that. So we're not doing that in Florida. But the theory behind it is that if you make everyone have to do this under penalty of law, that somehow you wouldn't have spread. And I think we just have to be honest about what it's doing and what it's not doing. We had hoped that if you had 50%, then you wouldn't have that. We had hoped you could build herd immunity that way, but that hasn't happened. It's not happening in Israel. It didn't happen in the UK. It's not happening in the United States. It doesn't mean that there's not positive impacts, but the positive impacts is mostly reducing the vaccinated individual's chance of being severely ill. Also, I would say, if you look at what we've done, we're leading the nation in pushing early treatment for people with COVID. And that's people that are not vaccinated, but it's also people that are vaccinated who are high risk, who we still see some of them ending up in the hospital. So we were able to do that. This has been available since December. We found that most of the people that were being admitted to hospitals, yes, most were not vaccinated, but almost none of them got the monoclonal treatment, the antibody treatment, early on in their illness. And if they had done that, a lot of those people would not have done. So we've done stuff. We've done the one here in Polk County. It's seen 2,800 patients. It's administered treatments. And what you're finding is we're seeing the hospital census decline rapidly. We're seeing the emergency room visits for COVID-like illness decline. We're seeing daily hospital admissions decline. So those are very, very good trends, but that's about understanding where there was a need for action. And then we did this, and we were able to put together a lot of sites very quickly. We're going to open up a couple more. So we're going to have, by the end of this week, we'll be up to 25 sites throughout the state of Florida, all of them being able to do up to 320 infusions a day. Now, most of our sites don't have that much demand, but I would say the one here in Polk is probably doing between 150 and 200 every day. Some of the other ones, like Bonita Springs, they do 300 a day pretty consistently, and then others do around 100. But the point is that by doing that, getting it early, we're keeping thousands of people out of the hospitals, and that's obviously better for their health. It's saving lives for sure, because not everyone that gets admitted to the hospital recovers, and it's also helping relieving a burden on the healthcare system, because we had higher levels of COVID patients. Now that's going down, so we're going to keep this going in that direction. But one of the reasons why we thought that this was something that needed to happen was because, yes, people just didn't seem to know about it, even though it had been available since December. So we've raised the spotlight now. Other states are following Florida. But it was based on the fact that you were still seeing people who were fully vaccinated test positive. Again, we didn't see the herd immunity that we had hoped for. And so in that situation, and we've already had great testimonials about this. Very elderly people who've been fully vaccinated for months get COVID, are symptomatic, and then they get the infusion, and either they stay out of the hospital. Some of them do get admitted, but I can tell you, we've had a number of these folks who get discharged, and the doctors are saying, had you not gotten the monoclonal, you probably wouldn't be getting discharged right now. So it's been a big success, and it's something that we're going to continue to do, but it is something that we recognize that this stuff, people were testing positive, both vaccinated and unvaccinated. And so in terms of hoping to just get herd immunity and all of a sudden, that has not happened anywhere yet in our country or in some of our other countries, particularly those that have been highly vaxxed. So you got to look at the data, and you got to make judgments on the basis of that. But I think we feel the real need with what we did with the monoclonals.
Governor,